I used to think the hard part of business was getting attention, getting the lead, getting someone to click, getting someone to fill out a form. But after working with small businesses, agencies, clinics, and entrepreneurs, I realized something different. A lot of money is not lost before the lead comes in, it is lost after. Someone fills out a form, but nobody follows up fast enough. Someone calls after hours, but the call is missed. Someone asks for more information, but the message gets buried. Someone says, "I'm interested," but 3 days later, the owner is busy, tired, distracted, or already dealing with the next problem. And I understand that because I have been there too. When you run a business, you are not just doing sales, you are answering messages, you are creating content, you are dealing with clients, you are fixing mistakes, you are thinking about cash flow, you are trying to grow the business while also keeping the business alive. So when people say, "Just follow up better," it sounds simple. But in real life, it is not simple. That is why I started paying more attention to systems, not fancy systems, not complicated systems, just simple systems that help a business respond faster, follow up more consistently, and keep track of people who already showed interest. I have seen clinics spend money on ads, get leads, and still lose opportunities because the front desk was too busy to answer every call. But when missed calls automatically triggered a text message, when appointment reminders went out, and when leads were followed up with quickly, the same business suddenly looked more professional. The ads did not magically become better. The follow-up became better. I have seen consultants keep prospects in notebooks, spreadsheets, Gmail, and memory. And honestly, I understand that too. When you are small, you do whatever works, but eventually, scattered information starts costing you. You forget who needed a proposal. You forget who asked to be contacted next week. You forget which prospect was warm and which one was just browsing. Once everything is placed into one simple pipeline, the business feels different. You can see who is new, who needs follow-up, who is ready for a call, who is close to buying. That kind of clarity gives you confidence. I have also seen agency owners use 5 or 6 different tools just to run one campaign. One tool for landing pages, one for email, one for SMS, one for scheduling, one for CRM, one for payment. At first, that feels normal, but over time it becomes expensive, messy, and hard to manage. When those pieces are brought into one place, the work becomes lighter. Campaigns are easier to launch, leads are easier to track, clients are easier to manage, and follow-up becomes something the system helps you do, not something you have to remember every hour of the day. To me, that is the real value. It is not about automation replacing people. It is about automation protecting relationships. Because when someone raises their hand and says, "I'm interested," they deserve a fast response, not a perfect response, just a fast, professional, helpful response. And the good news is, you do not have to build a complicated machine from day one. Start with one thing, maybe a form that sends an instant reply, maybe a missed call text back, maybe a simple booking link, maybe a pipeline that shows where every prospect stands, maybe a follow-up sequence that keeps the conversation alive. One small system can remove a lot of stress, and once that works, you can add more. Email nurturing, review requests, AI chat, appointment reminders, payment links, client communication. But the first step is not to build everything. The first step is to stop letting good opportunities disappear because your business depends too much on memory and manual follow-up. Entrepreneurship is already hard. You do not need more chaos. You need a system that quietly works in the background, even when you are busy. That is what changed the way I look at business. Not more hustle, not more apps. A better system,